Hello, YouTube. My name is Bigboysnacksjonnytv, aka What Kind of Snatch You Want? Cause I got plenty to go around. This is my WWE Smackdown review on high. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel. Cause I'm on the road to 10K and become a YouTube partner. Follow my social media down below in the description. And go check out my AEW Dynamite review on highlights I did for Wednesday. And that's all I gotta say. Now WWE Smackdown was, I'm also say it was a good show, and I give it 7 out of 10. But there was nothing but rematches. SmackDown was live from Dixie's Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. Commentary tonight with Ray Bear and Joe Testor. Then now forever together. Hits the screen. We cut to aerial shot outside of the arena and to the Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY, all entering the arena. The camera cuts to the new United States Champion Jacob Fatu along with Solo Sequoia entering the arena. We see the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton backstage. WrestleMania 41 highlight airs. Alright, this was a solid segment between John Cena and Randy Orton. Back live in the arena, John Cena music and a loud John Cena sucks chant from the crowd. The ring announcer Mark Nash introduced John Cena to the ring, and John Cena comes out with the undisputed WWE champion backwards around his waist, holding his the last time is now towel behind his head. He gets in the ring and raises the title in the air and points to the ring announcer Mark Nash, who gets in the ring. John Cena hands him a piece of paper, and the fans chant, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." Mark Nash looks at John Cena, who is looking at the crowd. John Cena is walking around the ring and shakes his head. Mark Nash reads off the paper. "My sincere apologies. I have been informed again that my announcement has been deemed disrespectful. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the greatest of all time, the 17 gracing for words with his presence for the final time. The last real champion, John Cena." The fans boo as John Cena raised the belt in the air, and Mark Nash leaves the ring. As John Cena is about to speak, Randy Orton music hits, and now he comes to the ring with the fans singing his theme music. Randy Orton asks for a microphone and looks at John Cena as the fans chant Randy Orton. John Cena holds the title belt up, and the fans boo him. Randy Orton asks John Cena if he knows what he's found out. In a couple of months, it will be 25 years to the day since they first shook hands. Randy Orton tells John Cena he has known him for 25 years, and he means that a compliment. John Cena never changed. He was always about hustle, loyalty, and respect. It was a way of life. He begins to think. He realized that there was a void in Cena's life, and he started to think. Randy Orton says he thought about the fans over 2 years. The millions and millions of kids who looked up to him since day one. All the days that he motivated and was a role model for the kids. Self goals because of him. Track and field on the court. In the classroom, generation of kids look up to John Cena. Surely that means something to Cena. Randy Orton tells John Cena that he granted more wishes than anyone in the history of the Grant a Wish Foundation. Randy Orton tells John Cena that he knows him too well, and John Cena can see him, that every kid left with a piece of his heart. There were not just a number, and Randy Orton figured out how to fill the void. He tells John Cena that John Cena needs to have some kids. Randy Orton asks to imagine little square jaw, this John Cena's running around. That would be that would that wor- The world would be a better place, and he tells John Cena to have kids, growing up and be a better human being. John Cena tells, "How dare you?" He tells Randy Orton that he is parent shaming him, and congratulations for him for having children and loving them. John Cena tells Randy Orton the real reason he doesn't have kids is because he spent the last 25 years raising yours. And John Cena says, as he looks as he looks in the camera and all by the sound of everyone tonight. He has done the impeachable job. He says for the last 25 years, he has been better parent to those to the kids than the parents could ever be. He looks at a kid in the crowd. He tells he tells him that his dad is a loser. The kid flips John Cena off, and John Cena tells him he is a very classy. John Cena tells Randy Orton that he has been policing brats for a quarter of a century. He tells the kid never to bring a knife to a gunfight, and his dad probably never taught him that. Randy Orton tells him the fans are the reason why he is in Hollywood right now and crushing it. Without WWE, there is no Hollywood without the fans. There is no WWE no matter the math, the fans are the biggest reason why John Cena is standing in the ring with him. Randy Orton says he has made a lot of mistakes, but he can go in the back, hold his head high, and he gets respect. He is a piece of furniture. He is he is here to stay, but John Cena is a guest. John Cena tells Randy Orton they have all their perspectives perspectivities. He used to believe Randy Orton in that without the fans. There is no WWE that they won together, but he was wrong. He never needed a single one of them. They will chant, "Let's go, Cena! Cena sucks," and the fans began chanting that. John Cena says, "Imagine being told you suck for 25 years." He says Randy Orton is just like the fans. He's hypocrites. John Cena says if the roles are reversed, he'll and he put his energy into anything but the WWE. He is an outcast and a guest. This is why this is dysfunctional. Why it's not a functional relationship? They are all manipulating the truth because they have done nothing in their lives. John Cena points to a fan and says all that fan has done is dress like Jack Black. He is 100 years old, and that's all the fan he has to say for his life. John Cena says he gets criticized and labeled as an outcast for trying to do something different. John Cena tells him that Randy Orton was stupid to come out and think that in this weird world, John Cena would listen to what he is saying. He says that before Cody Rhodes music hits, we hear Cody Rhodes says wrestling has more than one royal family. Cody Rhodes is not just talking about Cody's family, but his family too. Wrestling has given Randy Orton everything. It will provide for him and his children too. He tells John Cena he won't ruin wrestling, and John Cena tells him to shut his mouth. He tells Randy Orton that Randy Orton does not understand. John Cena says he's already won 17. Randy Orton has won 14. But after John Cena takes it home, Randy Orton is forever frozen at 14. There will be another show, another other matches. They will create some tenfold champion, and if Randy Orton wins it, Randy Orton counter starts at 1. What he is trying to do is that when he leaves to make sure 3 generations of Randy Orton's family is erased. Randy Orton rubs his head and the fans chant RKO. Randy Orton tells John Cena to prove that he is the real champion and to put his title on the line right now. John Cena raised the belt and says no, just like so many times. Over the last 25 years, he is doing it to save Randy Orton's you know what. John Cena says there should be a match. Randy Orton against John Cena for the Undisputed Championship, but it should not happen here. It should happen at Backlash. Backlash is in St. Louis because Randy Orton is from St. Louis. John Cena tells Randy Orton he can spend the whole day with his family, be well rested, and at his best because he needs Randy Orton and need Randy Orton at his best because after Backlash, when Randy Orton falls, Randy Orton will have no excuses. John Cena tells Randy Orton to take a good look at what take a good look. This is what the last real champion looks like. John Cena tells Randy Orton that this is as close as Randy Orton will ever get to the championship. John Cena throws the belt at Randy Orton and catches it, but John Cena with right hand. Randy Orton goes down and Cena begins kicking him. John Cena grabs the belt. Randy Orton gets up and John Cena swings. Randy Orton dunks and Randy Orton hits him with an RKO. The fans chant Randy Orton as he grabs the undisputed title and raise it in the air as his music hits. That's the same thing that Randy Orton hit John Cena with the RKO last week on Monday Night Raw. And that's all I gotta say. When Randy Orton slid inside the ring and John Cena raised the championship up and John Cena turned around and there was Randy Orton and Randy Orton hit John Cena with the RKO on Monday Night Raw. That's from last week. Alright. That was a good segment between John Cena and Randy Orton. We cut to Wade Barrett and Joe Testo. Joe Testo mentions that Fraxim of NXT have arrived to SmackDown, and we see Fraxim video package. Commercial break. So we get Legado del Fantasma, Angel and Berto versus Fraxim and Axiom and Nathan Axiom and Nathan Frazier. And this tag team match right here, I ain't gonna lie, this was a pretty good tag team match. The bell rings were underway. Berto and Axiom start the match. Axiom with the Hurricanrana followed by a drop kick. Nathan is tagged in and they double team Berto, who falls to the outside of the ring. In comes Angel and they double team him to the outside of the ring. Fraxton with a double suicide dive to the outside. Frazier gets back into the ring and lands a running senton over the top rope onto both men. Axiom gets back in the ring and lands a moonsault off the top rope. Nathan throws Berto back into the ring. He goes for the cover, but Berto kicks out. Axiom is tagged back in. He gets Berto in a headbutt and throws him to the ropes. Angel is tagging. Axiom runs to the ropes, but Angel lowers the middle rope and Axiom falls to the outside of the ring. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Nathan runs to the ropes and takes Berto down with a forearm. A sling blade followed by a standing senton. He goes for the cover, but Berto kicks out. He grabs Berto, but Berto with a kick to the side of the head. Angel is tagged in and he kicks Nathan in the face. He goes for the cover, but Nathan kicks out. Berto is tagged back in and Nathan is placed on the top rope. Legado del Fantasma climbed the second rope. They lift Nathan up and MTY. I don't know what that means. Uh, it says they lift Nathan up and MTY Berto and a moonsault off the top rope. He goes for the cover, but Axiom gets into the ring and pushes Angel out onto them. I'm sorry about that. Onto them, breaking the cover. Axiom and Angel are tagged in. Angel with a knee to the face, but Axiom with a kick to the head. Angel with the headbutt, and both men are down. Angel climbs to the top rope, but Axiom with a kick to the side of the head. Both men on the top rope. Nathan tags himself in. Axiom with a Spanish fly. Nathan climbs to the top rope and lands a finish splash. He goes with a cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match passes him. This was some good tag team match right here. We cut to the back and see DIY preparing for their match. So we go to commercial break. So we get the next match. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. This was a decent match. WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton comes out and this was a solid segment. WWE Champion Tiffany Stratton comes out and the fans cheering. She says at WrestleMania 41 it was Tiffy time. She went toe to toe one of the greatest of all time, Charlotte Flair. That was the worst match of the night at WrestleMania 41 between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. The fans boo and Tiffany Stratton says there were times she doubted herself, but in the end she prevailed. She prevailed and walked out of WrestleMania 41 as still WWE Women's Champion. Tiffany Stratton says she was told that she's the next Charlotte Flair, but that is wrong. There may be only one Charlotte Flair, but there is only one Tiffany Stratton. Jade Cargill mews to kiss, and out she comes. Jade Cargill tells Tiffany Stratton to cut it. Jade Cargill comes out to give credit where credit's due. Her match against Charlotte Flair was impressive, but that did nothing but create bigger target on her back. And since business is finished with Naomi, she has nothing but time. She thinks it's time for her to remind everyone why she came to WWE, for everyone to see why she came to be a champion, and if for and for Tiffany Stratton to understand that just because she beat Charlotte Flair, that does not mean she is the best, especially since she hasn't faced her. Tiffany Stratton tells her to put her money where her mouth is and get a referee right now. Come out comes a referee in the ring. Not bad a promo by Tiffany Stratton. Creative going with Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill is surprising, but I am guessing we get some interference in this match. Hashtag SmackDown, which is Naomi will interfere. Alright, commercial break. So we get Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. And this was a not of a bad of a match. I'm not supposed to say this was a pretty good match right here, in my opinion, until Naomi ruined it. The bell rings, we are underway. Jay with a waistline takedown, but Tiffany gets back to her feet. Tiffany with a headlock, and Jay pushes her to the ropes. Jay with a shoulder tackle. Tiffany gets back up, and Jay goes for a suplex, but Tiffany lands on her feet. She rolls Jay up, but Jay kicks out. Both women back to their feet. Tiffany extends her hand and Jay shakes it. Tiffany with the headlock and into the ropes. But Jay with an arm drag takedown. Jay lifts Tiffany up. Tiffany lands on her feet and an arm drag takes Jay down. She runs towards Jay, but Jay with a backbreaker. Jay runs towards Tiffany, but Tiffany with a drop toe hold, and she lands a running hip attack. She runs towards Jay, but Jay with a spine buster. She goes for the cover, but Tiffany kicks out. Jay goes for a knee to the face. Tiffany ducks and goes for the cover, but Jay kicks out. Tiffany with a spine buster. She goes for the cover, but Jay kicks out. Tiffany with a back elbow to the face in the corner, and Jay falls to the mat. Tiffany goes for the cover, but Jay kicks out. Tiffany throws Jay in the corner and lands another elbow. She goes for the cover, but Jay kicks out. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Tiffany with a rolling senton. She goes for the prettiest moonsault ever. Tiffany slips, gets back on, goes for her moonsault. Jay moves out of the way. Tiffany lands on her feet. Tiffany runs to the ropes and goes for a cartwheel Alabama slam, but Jay catches her and lands a powerbomb. She goes for the cover, but Tiffany kicks out. Jay goes for Jaded. Tiffany lands on her feet and a drop kick. She goes for the cover, but Jay kicks out. Tiffany climbs the top rope, but Jay kicks out. Tiffany climbs the top rope, but Jay gets to the ropes. Jay with a suplex of the second rope. Tiffany rolls to the ring apron and out comes Naomi. She gets in the ring and forearms onto Jay and the referee calls for the bell. The winner by disqualification, Jay. This feud between Jay Cargill and Naomi is far from over. So ever since Naomi lost at WrestleMania 41 to Jay Cargill, this lets me know that Naomi has to win at Backlash. So it is what it is. So that match was pretty good until Naomi ruined it. Naomi throws Jay into the ring post and the fans boo. Tiffany Stratton gets in the ring and Naomi backs away and leaves the ring. Nia Jax comes from behind and attacks. Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax with a leg drop followed by the Annihilator. Nia Jax raises the WWE Women's Championship in the air and throws it onto Tiffany Stratton, who who is down on the mat. I don't want to see Nia Jax becoming WWE Women's Champion ever again. I don't want to see that. Anyway, we see the Motor City Machine Guns preparing for their match. All right, commercial break. WWE, the United United States Women's United. I'm sorry, the United States Champion segment. Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. And this segment right here, this was a I might as well say this was a good segment right here. Jacob Fatu music hits, and now he comes with Solo Sequoia. Jacob Fatu comes out with the United States Championship around his neck. The fans chant Jacob Fatu as Solo Sequoia, introduce Jacob Fatu as the new United States Champion. Solo says that Solo says that at WrestleMania 41, everyone saw what he already knew, and that Jacob Fatu is the future. He is the future of this company. Solo says that no one wanted Jacob or two here except for him. They thought he was trouble too much of a risk. But the one who charged that and made it all happen was him. He is the reason that Jacob Fatu is the champion. He is the one that brought him here and took him to the promised land. He says this is what happens when you love your family. As Solo continues to speak, Jacob Fatu takes the microphone from him. The fans chant Jacob Fatu. Um and he tells Solo Sequoia not to get it twisted. He told Solo that he was going to win the title. He told him that the U.S. title was coming home to the family, and he told him that he was going to do it with him or without him. Jacob Fatu says that he is, Jacob Fatu says is what he did. Jacob Fatu tells the fans to look at the new United States champion. He says he knows that this title makes him America most wanted, and that makes him a menace to society. But at the end of the day, Solo better get in where he fits in because he is all gas and no breaks with it. LA Knight music hits, and now he comes. He tells them, "Let me talk to you," and begins walking down to the ring. He says at WrestleMania, Jacob Fatu ate a BFT, but Jacob Fatu grabs the ropes during the pin. And after that, Jacob Fatu was able to beat him. Credit where it's due. It can happen to anyone, and anyone can get it. But he walks back and everyone said he had a you know what of a match. But he is not worried about that. He is worried about winning and taking the belt. He tells Jacob Fatu that he wants his rematch and he wants it right now. Drew McIntyre music hits and now he comes. He tells the fans it's not always easy being Drew McIntyre. Personally, it is. Being tall, jacket, handsome, and having a big guns. But professionally, he gets screwed every title match. But at WrestleMania, he beats Damian Priest, one of the most violent matches in WrestleMania history. Drew McIntyre tells Damian Priest thanks him because it was an absolute pleasure to embarrass him in front of his family. Drew McIntyre says that the next plan was to challenge John Cena for the title, but Randy Orton jumped the line. The same Randy Orton he beat a few weeks ago. He asks if it is World Wrestling Entertainment or World Entertainment. Drew McIntyre says John Cena is a punk now. Drew McIntyre wants to fight the baddest dog in the yard. He wants to fight the baddest champion in the yard. He tells Jacob Stu that he wants to fight him. LA Knight says blah blah blah, and for some reason to wake him up, Drew McIntyre says the only joke around here was LA Knight last U.S. title run. LA Knight says he would say Drew McIntyre last title run was a joke, but he can't remember it. That part was funny. He tells Drew McIntyre if he has a problem with Randy Orton to go talk to Randy Orton, but now is this time. If Drew McIntyre thinks he deserves the U.S. title so bad, come in and show him. Drew McIntyre agrees and gets in the ring, but out comes Nick Aldis. He tells them to go back to their play to their go put to put their boots they to put their belts and boots on because there will be Drew McIntyre against LA Knight, and the winner is the #1 contender for the United States Championship. We cut to the back and see Selena Vega walking. Byron Saxton stops her and asks her about her match tonight. She tells him that she knows she is known to have a big mouth, but tonight is one of those nights where she is speechless. It means a lot to her. Just like her mentor Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, she wants to bring some Latino heat. All right, and I'm so glad that Selena Vega is getting this opportunity for the Women's United States Championship, and she's getting a push. I like that. Great segment for the United States Championship. Jericho for two is becoming the guy, and they are doing great with him. Gets Drew McIntyre against Jericho for two would be a lot of fun. I like LA Knight, but I have him do something else before going for the belt again. Hashtag Smackdown. So we go to commercial break. So we get the Women's United States Championship match. Ver- Chelsea Green coming by Piper Niven and I will fire versus Selena Vega. And this was a quick match. And I'm glad they banned Alba Fire and Piper Niven from ringside. The bell rings were underway. Chelsea Green goes after Selena Vega, but Selena Vega moves out of the way. Selena Vega rolls her up, but Chelsea Green kicks out. Selena Vega on the ring apron, and she grabs Chelsea Green, tripping her up. Alba Fire and Piper Niven distract Selena Vega, and Chelsea Green drop kicks her to the outside of the ring. Chelsea Green distracts the referee as Piper Niven and Alba Fire double team Selena Vega. So we go to commercial break. Back from the commercial, both women on the second row, but Selena Vega German suplex to Chelsea Green, but both women back up and Selena Vega with a clothesline. Chelsea Green down in the corner and Selena Vega with a running knee to the face. Selena Vega climbed the second rope and lands the Meteora. She goes for the cover, but Chelsea Green kicks out. Alba Fire gets on the ring apron and Selena Vega knocks her down. Selena Vega turns around and Chelsea Green with a kick to the face. She goes for the Meteor, but Selena Vega with a backstabber. Selena Vega goes for the 619 and she trips Selena Vega up. The referee catches it late and Alba Fire grabs Selena Vega. The referee kicks them away from ringside. Chelsea Green with their right hand from behind and she throws Selena Vega to the ropes. Selena Vega with the code red. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match you know, in your new Women's United States Champion, Selena Vega. Yeah, Selena Vega. I was so happy that Selena Vega defeated Chelsea Green to become the Women's United States Champion. Selena Vega should have won this at Puerto Rico, where the fans would have went crazy for Selena Vega. But I'm glad Selena Vega got her moment and she got her push. So congratulations to Selena Vega. That brought tears to my eyes. I was so happy that Selena Vega won the Women's United States Championship, but she should have won it at Puerto Rico. All right, let's move on. The Miz and Carmelo Hayes are backstage standing in front of the Andre Giant Battle Royal Trophy. The Miz tells Carmelo Hayes that when it's all said and done, Carmelo Hayes will be the greatest Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner of all time, and that's why he sacrificed himself for himself last week. The Miz gives him a thick gold necklace. Carmelo Hayes thanks him. The Miz tells Carmelo Hayes that he inspires him and will go out to the ring right now. That gold necklace was that looks clean. I love that. But I got this feeling that I like the Miz and Carmelo Hayes together, but I already know that the Miz is going to turn on Carmelo Hayes at a certain point. I can already see it. All right, let's move on. So we'll go to commercial break. Aleister Black returns and the Miz. You see the thumbnail right there. All right. Back from commercial, The Miz is already standing in the ring. He says since 2007 he has been in, integral part of WrestleMania, but this year he had no match, no mention, nowhere to be found. He says he's main event at WrestleMania, beating John Cena, returning the WWE champion, something that Cody Rhodes could not do. And yet Cody Rhodes gets the cheers, the pyro, the spotlight. he gets it. Cody Rhodes was champion, when Ren but when Rey Mysterio comes hobbling at WrestleMania, he goes to someone who has been there for 2 weeks. The Miz has been there for 20 years. He asks himself if he has to wear a lucha mask and calls himself Ray. Kevin Owens goes down. The fans want someone who is an internet meme, someone who is an internet trend. He is sick and tired of people showing up in WWE, people that cannot lace his boots in the ring. He is tired of them getting opportunity. He is a A-lister, the most must-see WWE superstar of all time. He is the Miz, and he is awesome. The lights goes out, and we see Aleister Black rising in screen. He begins walking to the ring. He rolls into the ring and he sits down in the ring. He sits down in the middle of the ring. Aleister Black stands up and the lights come back on. The fans chant "Welcome back" and cheers. The Miz asks him, "Who the you know what do you?" And Aleister Black with a spinning kick to the face takes the Miz down. Aleister Black sits back down in the middle of the ring and his music starts to play. His music hits and the lights goes dark. I like how they brought the Aleister Black old theme song since NXT. I love that. I love that. I would love to see the Demon Finn Balor versus Aleister Black at SummerSlam. Sign me up to see that match. And I would love to also see Aleister Black join the Judgment Day. He'll fit well right with the Judgment Day in the palm of his gloves. Aleister Black fits well with the Judgment Day. But I also would love to see the Demon Finn Balor versus Aleister Black at SummerSlam. Sign me up to see that match. All right, we cut we cut to the back, and the Street Profits are preparing for their match. Nice return of Aleister Black, but I have a feeling not many knew who remembered who he was. Comparing his return to Rusev, the reaction were not the same. Still interesting to see that they do with Aleister Black on hashtag Smackdown. And WWE, do not mess up with Aleister Black. Please do not mess with Aleister Black. That's all I gotta say. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Byron Sanchez is with Bianca Belair. Her fingers are wrapped, and she says she left WrestleMania with a few broken fingers, things that did not go her way. But she is proud of what the three of them did at WrestleMania. She says Il Scott found the perfect opportunity to capitalize, and she would have done the same. As for Rhea, she found a way to sneak into her match, but now she's focused on healing, and SmackDown is her home. Right now, her home is divided. I guarantee you that Bianca Belair is gonna get drafted to Monday Night Raw. I guarantee you. I know it's coming. And the WWE needs to respect the brand split. The only drive is gonna be called. The only drive is for the NXT call up. That's what the draft is all about. It's nothing but the NXT. It's nothing for the NXT call up. I can already see it. And I already know that Roxanne Perez is going to get called up to the main roster along with Julia. I believe that Julia and Roxanne Perez are going to be on Monday Night Raw. Or Roxanne Perez might be on SmackDown and Julia might be on Raw. Who knows? But we'll see. Anyway, let me continue. I just have to put that out there. We cut backstage and see Naomi walking. She is stopped by Nia Jax. She tells Naomi she doesn't care about her revenge against Jay for for and for her to stay away from her and her title. Naomi tells Nia Jax as long as she proceeds with caution and she walks away. Naomi had Nia Jax jumping. That part was funny. So we go to commercial break. So we get the number one contenders for the WWE United States Championship match. Uh, Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight. This was a fun match to watch. The bell rings, we are underway. A collar and elbow tied up, but Drew with a race slide takedown. LA Knight gets back to his feet, another collar and elbow tied up. LA Knight with a race lock and down goes Drew McIntyre. LA Knight slaps him across the head. Both men back to their feet. Drew to the ropes and he lands a shoulder tackle. Drew McIntyre back to the ropes and LA Knight with a back elbow followed by a backdrop. He goes for the cover, but Drew kicks out. LA Knight grabs Drew, but Drew Drew with a chop to the chest. Right hand by Drew McIntyre, and he runs towards LA Knight, but but LA Knight moves out of the way, and Drew McIntyre to the outside of the ring. LA Knight to the outside, and he grabs Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre pushes him away and gets back into the ring. LA Knight LA Knight on the ring apron, but Drew McIntyre hangs him up on the ropes. Drew McIntyre with a shoulder tackle, and LA Knight bounces off onto the barricade. Drew McIntyre holding his ribs, and the referee begins to count, but LA Knight gets back into the ring. Drew McIntyre with a brainbuster, and he goes for the cover, but LA Knight kicks out. He gets LA Knight in the corner and lands a chop to the chest. Right hand and kicks by Drew McIntyre in the corner. Drew McIntyre goes for a suplex, but LA Knight blocks it, and LA Knight with a suplex. LA Knight with a Russian leg sweep followed by a jumping neck breaker. He goes for the cover, but Drew kicks out. LA Knight grabs Drew, but with a Glasgow kiss. He goes for a future shot DDT, but LA Knight rolls him up, but Drew McIntyre kicks out. LA Knight with a jumping elbow off the top rope. He goes for the cover, but Drew kicks out. LA Knight goes for the BLT, but Drew McIntyre lands on his feet and gets on the ring apron. LA Knight trips him up, and Drew McIntyre to the outside. LA Knight slams Drew's hand into the announcer table. LA Knight throws Drew McIntyre into the ring with the referee looking at Drew. So Sequoia gets to ringside and hits LA Knight with a small spike. He throws LA Knight back into the ring. Drew McIntyre looks confused and is about to go with a claymore, but out and grab Damian Priest comes out and grabs Drew McIntyre. The referee calls for the bell as Damian Priest throws him into the barricade. Why was Soul Sequoia helping Drew McIntyre? I was just so confused about that, and I don't get it. It says the winner by disqualification, Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest chokeslams Drew McIntyre through the announcer table. LA Knight and Damian Priest argue on the outside of the ring. Out of nowhere is Jacob Fatu with a suicide dive onto both men. He throws them back into the ring and lands a running hip attack onto LA Knight. Jacob Fatu with a jumping moonsault onto LA Knight, and he hits Damian Priest with a hip attack followed by the jump up moonsault. Jacob Fatu grabs his United States Championship in the ring, and the fans chant Jacob Fatu as his music plays. It's gonna be a fatal four-way match for Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu versus Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. That's gonna be a fatal four-way match. Not a bad match between Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. This was all about the ending with Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest. We could get a fatal four-way match between Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest. Alright, let's move on. We see clips of Raw involving Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker attacking Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Alright, we see John Cena walking backstage as he is stopped by our troops. He congratulates John Cena on winning the title and tells him that if he needs him at any time, he gives him a call. John Cena walks away, and in comes Jimmy Uso. He asks R-Truth when did John Cena become so whack. R-Truth tells him that Cena is the true champion, and there are two sides to every story. And when he grows up, he wants to be just like him. R-Truth walks away, and Jimmy Uso tells R-Truth that he's already grown up. Why can't we get the TNA R-Truth into WWE? Imagine R-Truth. Imagine R-Truth cost Randy Orton at Backlash, and R-Truth just turned heel and joins John Cena. That would be crazy. And that would get some heat right there. All right. It says so we get the main event of the evening. So we get the True Threat tables, ladders, and chairs tag team match. The Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. And this match right here should have been at the grand stage of them all at WrestleMania 41. So you're gonna put the New Day versus the War Raiders over the Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY in the TLC Triple Threat match. Now, this match right here should have been at WrestleMania 41, the Grand Stage of Mall. I don't care if it's WrestleMania 41 Night 1 or WrestleMania 41 Night 2, either nights. But this match itself should have been at WrestleMania 41, one of the Grand Stages of the Mall. But this was the match of the night. This match was eating. And that's all I gotta say. This was the match of the night. The bell rings, we are underway. DIY in control early on as they both teams down on in the ring. DIY to the outside and grabs a ladder, but Motor City Machine Guns with a baseball slide, and the ladder hits DIY in the face. The Motor City Machine Guns with right hands onto the Street Profits in the ring. In comes DIY, but they taken out by Motor City Machine Guns. DIY and the Street Profits to the outside of the ring. Chris Sabin with a suicide dive to the outside, but Gargano hits him with a chair to the head. Gargano, but Gargano hits him with the chair in the head. Gargano and Ali Shelley with a chair on the other side of the ring. Dawkins pushes Ciampa over the announcer table. He grabs Gargano, lifts him, and hits him head first into the ring post. Dawkins slides a ladder into the ring and sets it up in the middle of the ring. The fans chant, "We want tables." Chris Sabin jumps onto the back of Dawkins, and Dawkins begins to climb the ladder. Dawkins knocks Chris Sabin down, but in comes Alex Shelley, and he delivers a dragon screw. Take him down. In comes Johnny Gargano, but Motor City Machine Guns double team him. Gargano is thrown into the ladder. In comes Ciampa, and they double team him. In comes Montez Ford, but they push the ladder onto him. Dawkins gets in the ring and he knocks them both down with right hands. Dawkins moves the ladder and places it on the ring apron. Dawkins with a 360 splash onto the Motor City Machine Guns. Dawkins climbs the top rope, but they trip him up and gets him in the trio bowl. Motor City Machine Guns to the outside. Chris Sabin grabs a chair and they get back in the ring. Chris Sabin places the chair in front of the face of Dawkins, and Alex Shelley with a basement dropkick to the head. Montez Ford gets in the ring. Chris Sabin places a chair in front of his face, and Alex Shelley with the dropkick off the top rope onto the chair, hitting Montez Ford face first. Gargano grabs Alex Shelley to the outside, and Ciampa grabs Chris Sabin, throwing him into the barricade. With both teams on the outside for with a flying senton over the top rope and onto both teams. Montez Ford grabs a ladder and slides it into the ring. He places it under the belts and begins to climb the ladder. Ciampa gets back into the ring and he climbs the opposite side of the ladder. Gargano with a ladder in the ring and he places it next to Ford and Ciampa. Montez Ford tries to climb the belts, but Ciampa with the right hand. Johnny Gargano jumps from one ladder and lands a twisted flatliner onto the mat. In comes Dawkins and he pulls Ciampa down. Before I continue, Montez Ford is insane, but Montez Ford does not get enough credit, and that's all I gotta say. But Montez Ford is insane. I just have to put that out there. That's just my own opinion. I'm going to stand on it. But let me continue. Dawkins starts to climb the ladder, but in comes DIY. Gargano climbs the ladder, but Dawkins with the silencer off the ladder onto the mat. Ciampa throws one of the ladders to the outside and begins to climb the other ladder. In comes Chris Sabin and he is on the ladder. Dawkins puts them both off the ladder and onto the ropes. Alex Shelley gets in the ring and he throws Dawkins to the outside. Ciampa grabs the chair and he hits both Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin with it. He places the chair around Alex Shelley's neck, and Gargano hits Alex Shelley's neck with another chair. Ciampa with a brainbuster onto Chris Sabin onto the chair. That was a brutal spot right there. In comes Dawkins, but DIY double teams him with chairs. Gargano places two chairs opposite side of each other. They go to suplex Dawkins, but Ford grabs Ciampa to the outside. Dawkins with their right hand onto Gargano, and he is slammed onto the chairs. The Street Profits are standing in the ring, and they slap each other like the Dudley Boys and yell, "Get the tables!" The Street Profits to the outside of the ring, and they slide a table into the ring. Ciampa gets on the ring apron forward with a super kick, and Dawkins gets Ciampa on his shoulders and forward with a blockbuster, and he lands onto everyone on the outside of the ring. The fans are chanting, "This is awesome," which is I agree. Montez Ford grabs a pro, post posted leg from a fan, and he hits Johnny Gargano with it. Ford throws a leg back in the fan and bridges a ladder between the barricade and the ring. Ciampa throws Ford into a ladder face first. DIY slams Shelley into the ring apron. Chris Sabin hits Dawkins from behind it with a chair, and and places him on a table on the outside of the ring. Ciampa sets up a table on the outside next to the bridge ladder. Alex Shelley throws Gargano face first into the steps. Chris Sabin climbs the top rope, and he lands a splash on Dawkins through the table on the outside of the ring. Ford places Ciampa on the table on the outside of the ring. Ford gets back into the ring, and he runs a landing center over the top rope onto Ciampa through the table. The fans chant, "This is awesome." All six men are down on the outside of the ring. Ford, Ford and Gargano are the first ones to their feet. They get back into the ring and Ford with a kick to the outside of the head to the Ford with a kick to the side of the head. Ford climbs the top rope. Ciampa pulls him down onto the ring apron, and he hits him with a big boot. Ciampa gets Ford onto his shoulders, and he lands a right noise through the bridge ladder. Gargano places a ladder under the belts in the ring, but in comes Shelley, who grabs him by the leg. Gargano with a right hand, and he knocks Alex Shelley down. Chris Evans gets on the ring apron. Gargano gets on the ring apron, but the Motor City machine guns with a kick to the face. There's a table on the outside. Chris Evans grabs Gargano, and they land skull and bone through the table. I like that spot right there. Ciampa gets back into the ring and begins to climb the ladder. He gets a hand on one of the belts, but the Motor City Machine Guns moves the ladder, and Ciampa is hanging onto the belts. The Motor City Machine Guns hits him with a steel chair. They places a table under Ciampa, and Dawkins climb a ladder in the corner. Dawkins spears Ciampa in mid-air through the table. Motor City Machine Guns places the ladder under the belts, and Ali Shelley begins to climb. In comes Gargano, and he hits Chris Sabin with a chair. He throws the chair onto Alex Shelley, hitting him in the head. Gargano climbs the ladder as he does Chris Sabin. Both men get to the top of the ladder, and they hit each other with right hands. Chris Sabin knocks Gargano down. Montez Ford with a springboard onto the ladder. He knocks Chris Sabin down. Montez Ford gets his hands on the belt, but Gargano trips him down. Gargano climbs the ladder, but Chris Sabin gets back, and the ladder Ford gets to his feet and climbs the ladder for the inside out. Montez Ford knocks them both down. Montez Ford hits at the top of the ladder. He grabs both belts. The winner of the match is still your WWE Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. The Street Profits, which is I called it in my last week's WWE Smackdown review on highlights that the Street Profits are going to retain the WWE World Tag Team Champions in the TLC match on SmackDown. I called it straight down the middle. If you don't believe me, go watch my last week's WWE Smackdown review on highlights. Go watch that video. I just mentioned that. But this was the match of the night. But this match right here should have been at WrestleMania 41, one of the grand stage of them all. And so you're gonna give So you're gonna choose the New Day. So you're gonna give us the New Day versus the World Raiders over the Street Profits, DIY and Motor City Machine Guns in the Triple Threat Tag Team TLC match. This match right here should have been at WrestleMania 41 in the grand stage of the mall. I don't care if it's WrestleMania 41 or WrestleMania 41 night one and night two, or one of those nights. But this match right here should have been at WrestleMania 41, one of the grand stages of the mall. But anyway, this was a good match. This was a match of the night in my opinion. The Motor City Machine Guns and DIY are down as the Street Profits celebrate with the fans as SmackDown goes off the air. That TLC tag team match was insane, truly insane. Some crazy spots: skull and bone through a table, a spear off the top through a table. Some crazy ladder spots. All 6 men were great. Here, go out of your way to watch this if you haven't. Hashtag SmackDown. A very good hashtag SmackDown with a lot that happened. John Cena and Randy Orton, a new Women's United States Champion. Things happened with the Men's United States Champion. Aleister Black returning in a must-watch tag team TLC main event. And WWE Smackdown goes off the air. All right, let me give my opinion of what I think about WWE Smackdown. Now, WWE Smackdown was a good show, and I give it a 7 out of 10. But in my honest opinion, that TLC match between the DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and Street Profits should have been at WrestleMania 41, one of the grand stations on the mall. I don't care. I don't care if they do it at night one or night two. But that match itself should have been at WrestleMania 41, one of the grand stations of the mall. And I'm so happy that Aleister Black returning. But WWE, do not mess up Aleister Black. Please do not mess this up. And I am so glad that Selena Vega defeated Chelsea Green to become the new Women's United States Championship. I was so happy that Selena Vega won. That brought tears to my eyes. But Selena Vega should have won it in Puerto Rico. Selena Vega would have got a bigger pop from the Puerto Rico. That's all I gotta say. And yeah, man, I don't even care about the brand split. It's only gonna be for NXT call up only. But WWE needs to respect the brand split, and that's all. And that's all I have to say. But the brand split is gonna be nothing but NXT call ups only. And I can see Ross and Perez go to SmackDown and Julia going to Monday Night Raw. Or I can say Julia and Ross and Perez are going to go Monday Night Raw. You never know. That's just a little prime example, but I could be wrong. But anyway, I just had to put that out there. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE SmackDown review and highlights, Aleister Black officially returns on SmackDown. Please watch the video from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content I do on the channel because I'm on the road to 10K and becoming a YouTube partner. Follow my social media down below in the description. And go check out my AEW Dynamite review and highlights that I did on Wednesday. And also go check out my WWE NXT review and highlights that I also did on Tuesday. And also go check out my WWE Raw review and highlights that I did on Monday. But anyway, this your boy Bigboysnacksjonnytv. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I'll make a 3-minute YouTube short video of me showing you guys my thumbnail twice in that 3-minute YouTube short video. But anyway, this your boy Bigboysnacksjonnytv. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. If I don't have nothing to do tomorrow, I will go live on Twitch. I just made a second Twitch. I told my boy Showstopper TV in Discord that I made a second Twitch. He sees it. He saw that I make a second Twitch. I told Showstopper TV when I make my second Twitch, I'm glad he has to have that red carpet already cleaned out, and he did that. And I told him on Discord I made my second Twitch full proof. I told him on Discord. So shout out to my boy Showstopper TV, and I cannot wait to see Showstopper TV live on Twitch. But if I don't have nothing to do tomorrow, I'm going to stream Fortnite on Twitch. How about that? And I better get the respect I deserve. And that's all I gotta say. So yeah, I'm going to stream live on Twitch tomorrow for some Fortnite. That's all I gotta say. It is time for me to get back on Twitch. I'm on the road to 1K over there on Twitch. Just like I'm on the road to becoming YouTube partner over there on YouTube. That's all I gotta say. And I want to hit 1K followers over there on Twitch this year. So this is gonna be my time to run it back. So I'm gonna run it back tomorrow on Twitch while I play Fortnite. But anyway, this your boy Bigboysnacksjonnytv. Have a great Friday. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kids, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.